Hello and welcome to this video for publisher exercise number 14. Now there's going to be some new things we're going to be talking about, skills and terms. It has changed a lot from the past. So if you have the textbook that we've been working with, it's the 2007 Microsoft Publisher textbook, you're going to see that the lesson in here is extremely different from how Publisher actually looks now. And so we need to explain what these things are before we start. So it used to be they had a design gallery and a content library, and basically the idea is you could store specific objects to it for you to use later on. So if you're working for a specific business or a certain brand for something and you want to use the same look and same style and reuse objects, this is what it was for. And so it's in the Insert tab. It used to be called the Design Gallery. Now it's referred to as Building Blocks. And so some of you, when you open up Publisher, you may have had a thing come up saying something to you about adding building blocks in the past library or things like that. This is what it's referring to. And so there's a few buttons here we're going to look at. With building blocks, we do have page parts. And you can see headings. This used to be like called masthead, but headings, pull quotes, sidebars, and stories, all those here as well that we can choose from. Now, like usual, they give you a few options here, and then if you want to see all of them, you can go down here to more page parts and click on this. And it gives you lots of options. So they're kind of like templates, but for specific objects. So if I want to choose all my headings, I can click here, all pull quotes, all reply forms, all sidebars, all stories, all table of contents. So lots of different options for you to choose from. Now it might be that you go and you design one, you make one. So I say I get this one, insert, and I make changes to it. I put the name of the newsletter, I put what volume it is and things like that, and then maybe I want to save it to the page parts. What I can do is with it selected, so you can see I have this outside edge here, the object selected, I can click page parts and go all the way to the bottom, and I can add the selection to the page parts gallery, and we're going to do that here in the exercise. So you give it a title, you can give it description, you can choose which part of the gallery it appears in, so advertisements, borders, calendars, things like that, and then of course you can give it a category as well in general of what it fits, and then of course keywords. So lots of different options there. There's also calendars. If you want like a pre-designed calendar, you could add that in. You have borders and accents. So this one you can see is using this one, but there's different types here. Same thing, you can add or you can look for more. And there's also advertisements. This is one where if you don't end up working for a business, you could easily end up using this just because maybe you're having a garage sale. Maybe there's a fundraiser for something for a group you're a part of. And so advertisements, there's lots of things you can make with it. So we're going to be using these different things here in our exercise number 14. So hopefully you downloaded the file. Let's go ahead and get started. The first part is to open up Pub 14. So I'm going to File, Open, and of course I'm going to go to my Downloads folder where it should be Pub 14. So I have it right here. Going to open it up, Pub 14. And you can see here we're designing basically a front page here for a company, a hotel company basically with it. So Pub 14, first thing we're going to do is let's change the name. So File, Save As. Of course you're saving it to your flash drive. I'm going to save it to my folder. If I can find my folder, I'm in Downloads, that's why. And we're going to be naming it 14 Flyer. So we're making this flyer here. And you're putting your initials. 14 Flyer underscore your initials. Alright, we changed the name. Then it says we need to insert the capsules heading from the design gallery. So it's no longer design gallery, so insert, it's the building blocks, the page parts. So let's click on insert page parts in the building blocks group, and then here's our headings, except really the easiest way to do it is I just go down to more page parts, and then I can click all headings and then actually look for it. So we're looking for capsules. It's this one right here, so click on that, and we're going to insert it and we're going to place it at the top of the page. So here's mine, and I'm going to put it to basically, it's going to be about right here. It's closer to the top of the page, a little bit further out from the side. So you can see how my ruler looks here. Basically like that. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can hopefully see it better on your screen. like this. Then what we need to do for our next step, it says we need to customize this heading. So for the business name right up here, let's click, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to put in the Hendricks Inn. So the Hendricks Inn. For the date, we're going to put in today's date. So over here, newsletter date, let's get rid of that, and we're going to put in April 2nd, 2019. If you're doing this on a different day, put in a different date. And then for the title, we're going to switch it here from newsletter title to Hendricks Gazette. And that should just fit in. So Hendricks Gazette. Alright, now we need to insert a few more things here, a few more page parts from our building blocks gallery. So I'm going to scoot this down a little bit because we're going to be working with the middle part of our page now. One of the first ones is we need to pull out the bubbles pull quote. So I click on page parts, and you see pull quotes down here. I'm just going to go and click more page parts. Going on here, click all. And so the first one it says is we're getting bubbles. So it's this one right here. Mine's in the second row over on this side. Click insert. And this one we're going to end up putting, basically, remember, grab from the outside edge here. Don't grab the size handles. Grab this line, the outline, and we're going to move it. We're going to try to line it up here with the top part of this springtime. So move it up a little bit more. So yeah, basically you're lining it up here with this one. Gotta go a little bit higher with it. Yeah, there we go. You'll see that pink line come up too. Alright, so we put in that one. Then we also need to include capsules. So I'm clicking page parts, going down to more page parts, and of course pull quotes is what we're dealing with. And then we're getting capsules. So over here, this one. Remember, it's alphabetical order. I click insert. This one I'm going to go and put under our sign. It's a little hard for me to see with the magnifier on, so I'm going to do the best I can with it. So yeah, it's going to look like this. Now we're going to be changing the sizes and stretching them out too. So we'll do that here in just a little bit. But I came to up to the bottom edge of the text box. And then we have one more pull quote to grab. So page parts, more page parts, all pull quotes. You're getting used to this here. And we're clicking the fall pull quote. So we need to go down a little bit more. Fall, insert. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring it here to basically be lined up with the gray one and then along the edge here. So this is how it looks right now. You can see these two are about the same height, and then this one's up here. Now we do need to change the sizes of this. So this one's going to go this one right here. Let's click on it, and we're going to drag it across, and we're going to go a little over half the page. So basically I'm lining it up with a 50% exclamation point here. That's the easiest way to do it. So right about here. And then of course we're going to get this one, and we're going to stretch this one out. So I click on the object, grab that size handle, and let's pull it so it's about right here. Oh, actually a little too close. Let's bring it back a little bit. So that line, you'll notice that outline's a little deceiving here. But yes, like that. And then we need to get this one, click on that edge, and let's grab this corner dot, and we're going to bring it down. Now you'll notice again the outlines are a little bit deceiving. You may have to let go, click a couple times to do it. Basically the easiest way to line this one up is it needs to go a little bit past this yellow part here, which it is, and then of course you need to be tall enough it's a little bit closer than this, about here. So again, it's moving a little bit past this one, and this is how it should look once you have everything stretched to the size it needs. Now it does have this little basic thing in here, but we're going to be changing those quotes. So let's type in the text that we need. This one I click on, and we're going to type in here quotation marks, sitting on the deck at the Hendricks Inn in the evenings. I hope if I can spell right. Watching the fireflies was the highlight of our vacation. I feel like there's more things you could do, but great. And then of course I push enter, hyphen, Sheila and Robertson, Dallas, Texas. Double check your work, make sure you got it right. And then I'm going to go down here to this one, and we're going to change it. So we try to visit the Hendricks, capitalize the Hendricks in the spring, summer, and fall, because the gardens are so different in each season. How amazing. Each beautiful in its own way. And then we need to push enter, hyphen, Larry Mayer, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then one more to go. Remember, if you need to click pause, type it in, come back, easy way to do that. And then of course we have one more, quotation mark. We had seen pictures of the perennial gardens on the website, but they were even more spectacular. Oh, this is getting a little too big for my spectacular. In person. Enter, hyphen, and West, San Diego, California. So we have those there. We do need to include, I realize, the quotation mark over here. If you didn't type that in, put it in. All right, so that's what each one of these look like. And I'm going to hover over quick in case you need to double check it. Well, really, you do need to double check it, but in case you need to type in more. So we type those things in. I'm going to save just for the sake of progress. It says insert the tilted box coupon at the bottom, but it says we're going to end up changing it. So we're actually just going to put the right one in instead. So we're going to go to page parts. Well, not actually page parts. We're actually going to go over to advertisements. Technically, these are all page parts, but different categories. So let's click on more advertisements. We're dealing with coupons. So we're going to go down here, past advertisements, past attention getters, down to coupons, and it says open background is what we're going to do. So you're going to click on that, and then we're going to click insert. It's going to bring the coupon. Now we need to adjust the size of it. Let's bring it over here to basically this bottom right corner, and then we need to stretch it all the way across so it lines up with the other page margin, this blue guideline. And then we're going to just drag up the top here a little bit, just a little bit. About like this. So this is how it should look for the bottom part of the coupon. Now we do need to change stuff. So for the title, we're changing it to Hendrix Coupon. Oh, excuse me, we're not doing that part just yet. We do need to customize it. So let's click up here where it says name of item or service. We're going to put down 1 night's stay. We're going to change it to, instead of 0% off, which is pretty depressing, 50% off. And then for this part, we're going to name, or of course the organization name is the Hendrix Inn. Remember, if I'm going too fast, just pause it and describe your location. We're just going to type in the address. So 1478 West 86th Street, Hendrix, Kentucky. For the telephone number, we're going to switch it here. So telephone 327-555-1987. And down here, expiration date, we're going to be switching it here to, you can, I think, let's see, we put it to April 2nd is when this is going out. So let's give it like a month after. So it's extremely tiny. We're just going to type in 05/2/19. So they're going to have basically a month for this. So 05/2/19. So you need to do that. Now, we've changed this, and we're going to make this be, we're going to end up saving this to our building block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click on page parts, and I have this selected already. Make sure this is selected. So I click along the outside edge if I haven't done it yet. Page parts, and let's go down to the bottom, add selection to page parts gallery. I'll show one more time. Right here, this button, add selection to page parts gallery. Up here for the title, we're going to switch it to Hendrix Coupon. And for the category, we're going to switch it, instead of general, to Hendrix Inn. We're making it a new category. And we are going to switch it from page parts to advertisements, because that is the group it falls under. So title, Hendrix Coupon. gallery, advertisements, and of course category, Hendrix Inn. And then click OK. And then we also do need to add the heading up here as well. So I'm going to go up to the top. Let's select our heading. So we've got this selected here. I click along the outside edge, or I can click on it too. A couple ways you can do it. And we're going to do the same thing. Page parts, add selection to page parts gallery. And we're going to change that name to Hendrix heading. And of course, we're switching this part. Well, actually, we're going to leave this as page parts, but for the category, we are going to switch it to Hendrix Inn. So this is going to put this in one category, just two different galleries. So we switch that. Let's click OK. Now we do need to print it. So I'm going to go and I'm first going to save it, just in case. Sometimes it closes on you if your computer messes up. You're changing to Microsoft Print to PDF if you haven't done so. And of course, clicking print, it's going to save it like usual, except we're going to type in here the name that we've been using, so 14 flyer underscore your initials. Saving it. And then it says we need to start a blank new publication. So I'm going to do File, New, it says blank 8x5 11 sheet portrait. So this one right here. Now that we've done that, it says insert the masthead heading and the coupon from your building blocks library. So I go to Insert tab, go over to Building Blocks. We're going to do Page Parts, and you can see my new heading came up. So Hendrix heading. We're going to move it up here. Okay, I'm going to grab this corner here and adjust it a little bit. Now you'll notice the colors are different because of when I chose it, or excuse me, the file that we have here, the color scheme is different. So I'm not worried about too much with the color scheme, but I do want you to have this building block in here. And then down below, we do need to add in our coupon. So I'm going to click on Advertisements, and down here is Hendrix Inn, and we're going to add this in here. And of course, adjusting the size to try to match it to what it was before. Okay, so I'm going to grab this corner. Make sure I line up here, the bottom of the page. And then, of course, let's drag this over. Bring it just a little bit. So it should look like this. We got the heading up here, and then we've got this down below as well. So we do need to save it here. So File, Save As, or you could just click the Save button. I'm going to click Browse. You're going to your flash drive. I'm going to my folder. And we're going to name it 14 flyer 2 underscore your initials. So 14 flyer 2 underscore your initials. All right, very good. That was a little bit longer here. We got one short exercise, or excuse me, file here to go. We do need to open a new publication. So File, New, blank publication. Now this one is more of you're doing it yourself. I'm going to give you a general idea, and then you get to decide. What you're going to do is you need to insert 4 different kinds of building block objects and customize each one. So I'm going to give you an example of one, and then you're going to need to do 4 of them, and you're going to end up saving the file. So, and you can arrange them how you like. So I click Insert tab. I'm going to grab a page part. So I'm just going to, for instance, let's grab a sidebar. We didn't use one of those. And it's going to put it inside of here. You need to customize it. So I want you to actually change the text that's in here. So this is describing a product. So actually, let's, instead of change the text, I'm going to switch this to a product. So let's put water, and briefly describe it. It's good for you with no calories. If you want to put one in that has what I'm saying, great. Otherwise, you can decide for yourself. And that's what I want you to do. Put it in here. Arrange it on the page. You can. I also want you to change the color scheme. So if you go to page design, you can choose a different color scheme as well and apply it to this. So don't go just with the one you have. So I had office, choose something else. But what you need to do is you need to choose 4 different ones. So I could go with this, and then I need to insert 3 more, arrange them here, and then submit it. So 4 total. different ones that you actually customize. Once you're done doing it, and I'm not going to show you because you can do that yourself, you're going to save this. So I would just recommend saving it now with the right name, and then of course you can submit it once you're done. The name is going to be 14 design underscore your initials. 14 design underscore your initials. It's going to just be like that. So you need to include 3 more things, 4 total, and actually customize. Good job following along. It was a little bit longer for this one because a lot of new stuff. And that is how you complete exercise number 14.